guest tonight is Stacy Marshall. He's going to give us some update of what's going on with the Southeast Fort Worth, right? I always mess that up.
No problem.
Every time. But anyway, Stacy and I have been friends for a while. He's a Mississippi young man, all the way from Mississippi. We give a shout out to Mississippi. Yes,
Mississippian.
Yes. So, you know this is a Christian-based talk show, but we do not discriminate. You are welcome to come on the show, as long as you don't try to change me from being a Christian. My favorite scripture is, finish what you started. That's what we try to do, Philippians 1:6. And I only gave you the short version so you can go in and read it, okay? Might help you to get saved. All right. Stacy was on our show last week when we were live asking all these questions that was stirring people up and everything. He had them stirred up, boy. I tell you, that Mr. Roger was really stirring up and stuff. So we are glad to have him back tonight and everything. Okay, so
put on his political face today.
Politician
face
maybe
today.
about for 5 minutes. But the truth will always be there.
See, I thought he was much older. When the way he was asking those questions, I thought he was much, much older.
Oh my gosh.
I thought he was like a senior AARP.
I'm almost there.
AARP is for
65.
us.
Oh, 60. I thought they were 50.
No, 50 is AARP.
AARP
The way he
is
was answering the
60.
question, I said, he old school. He old school.
No, that's because he's from Mississippi.
That's 'cause he's Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Oh,
You know, they raised the Mississippians up like old folks.
Yeah.
And he still like old folks.
Okay. I love my seasoned people.
Thank you. See,
And he has a lot of
seasoned
wisdom.
now. He said we're seasoned.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
She's the less seasoned. We are the seasoned.
Yeah, we are the
Because
seasoned.
she's the youngest one out the AARP.
I'm one of the new
okay.
one of the new seasons they made.
Yeah,
She like Larry season.
Larry
Yeah. I'm hot. No, you was hot sauce, right?
She was hot
Louisiana brand.
I don't know
Is it
what.
Louisiana?
Was it Louisiana? We don't know. We just know she's hot.
I'm the great value. I'm the great
Oh, the
value.
great value.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's even good too.
I was the mayonnaise and all that, so.
As long as it's healthy.
Yeah,
There you go. It's gotta be healthy.
But we're so excited to have you with us tonight, Stacy. We know you have a lot of good information. So what's going on? Tell us a little bit about you, Stacy. What's going on in your life?
What's going on in my life?
Nothing,
A lot of things. Nothing's going
nothing.
on. Nothing but work. Work, church, and home. Work, church, and home.
Work, church, and home.
So a little bit about me. I am, as you know, from Mississippi, from Myersville, Mississippi.
Can you say that
Myersville.
M.I.?
I've never heard of that.
M.I.
Cricket letter, humpback.
Humpback.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's
You're
how
from
I learned how to
Mississippi.
spell
Me
Mississippi.
too.
Yeah. So Myersville is in the Delta.
Right.
All flat land. It's
Right.
about 55 miles north of Vicksburg, which you probably heard of
Yeah,
before.
did we see that on the thing when
Greenville.
we was coming? Okay, we saw that, yeah.
And then Greenville is 45 miles to the north. So that's where
Well,
you guys
she's been to Greenville.
Yeah, you've been to Greenville.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
what we
stayed
stayed
in
at
the
the
hotel.
casino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The casino.
Yeah, we drove over there. We was in Mississippi.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I went.
You're in a great state.
Yeah.
Hey,
You gave Arkansas, then you got Mississippi.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was born there, raised there. My
Did
little
you pick
town
any
of
cotton?
500 people.
Did you pick it?
I did. I didn't
You
pick
picked cotton?
cotton. I didn't pick it, but I chopped it. I chopped the vines from around the cotton. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, you
You
chopped
know,
the grass.
We
from
chopped the
around
grass from around
the cotton.
from the cotton or whatever.
Right.
We didn't have the satchels like back in slavery day and
yeah.
picking it.
I did.
But
She did.
You
that,
did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had the sacks.
Wow.
And I picked in hoe.
So I
Pick that
came a
hoe.
little
She said
later
pick that
after
hoe.
you. So yeah.
She said she
Yeah, we
picked
hold.
that hole.
Yeah,
Pick that hoe. But you hold that cotton is what you meant. We're going to keep it on the
She
cotton.
giving you that. I called that because some people said she picked that up. We talking about hoe with a hoe, y'all.
Hoe. Like the shovel and the hoe and you hoeing it like that
Yeah,
or whatever.
and that hoe, and that hoe
Yeah.
had to be sharp because
had
if
to
it's
be.
not, they'll
Yeah.
get angry with you leaving
Mhm.
half that grass on top of that road.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that milkweed, you remember the milkweed,
Yes.
the big old thick ones
Yes.
or whatever? Now, I will admit, I went out several years to
Uh-huh.
hoe the cotton,
Uh-huh.
but I got fired every year
Because you didn't hoe it right.
No,
I was
because
talking.
you chopped it.
I
Oh,
wasn't
he was
even-
running your
I
mouth.
was like,
I was
this
chopping
field is
cotton
wet
down.
in the morning. We up at 5:30 in the morning,
Right.
Wow.
out in the field, and I
Right.
said, there's got to be a better life than this to me because I can't do this. I'm sorry.
So you had
And-
to get out of Mississippi, huh?
I did, but it was a way for her to make extra money
Oh,
because
okay,
you know we didn't grow up with a silver spoon in our mouths or whatever.
You
so-
did.
They didn't pay that much.
They didn't pay any money. We didn't even get minimum wage.
You
You-
was like $2 and something.
It may have been like that
Sometimes
$2.
$1.50 a day.
And if
Wow.
if you bought lunch, that was it. You got no check that day.
Get out of here.
Yeah. They would always say, bring your lunch or whatever. You know, I didn't get up
Wow.
at 4:00 to make lunch or whatever. So
Right.
I ordered lunch. I think I went out there for 3 days and I ordered lunch one day and I think I got like $5.
Get out of here.
I
How
said, that
old
is
you
not
then?
for me. I was about 14, 15. They say
Dang.
you're supposed to have been 16 or 17,
Uh-huh.
but hey, if you could get on the bus
Right.
and you
By
got a
yourself.
hoe,
Right.
and
Did you bring a hoe or you had?
You
you had to bring your own hoe. You had to bring your own chopping hoe. The kind you chop with.
Oh,
Now,
the
if they
kind
just
you
a
chop
mother-
with now. You didn't bring the other kind.
No, they already was on the bus.
You gotta
Woo, they were gonna hold with your hoe.
Yeah, you got
Hey.
to bring your
That's
own
a
hoe.
good
You
one.
bring your own
That's
hoe.
That's a
But-
good one.
Bring your
That's
own hoe.
awesome.
But yeah, I knew that wasn't for me. And my mom, she was very, very particular about education. And she
Oh,
said,
yeah.
you have got to get out of this
I
small
hear
town
you.
of 500 people. So
That's all with that.
she kept my head in the book. Yeah, small town. But we do have a claim to fame. Unita Blackwell was the first Black mayor in the state.
Really?
And she was very big in SNCC and all of that. I met Shirley MacLaine and all these different people used to come to my hometown, but I was younger and I didn't know
Oh, okay.
who they
okay.
were. You know, I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
knew she was on television, but you know, the
Yes.
stardom wasn't there for me.
Uh-huh.
And but I grew up it was a great growing up. And the reason I say that is because on my side of town, which is a little corner, I lived around my grandmother, my aunts, my uncles. Everybody lived
Did you have
together,
your
worked
railroad
together.
track divided?
We did not have a railroad track at all.
Wow,
Wow.
you
Mm-mm.
blessed.
Rolling Fork, 12 miles away, had a railroad
Railroad
track,
track,
but we didn't
okay.
have one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just strictly a farming community, you know, right situated next to the levee,
Uh-huh.
next to the Mississippi River. And so, but it was good. It was a good life. I didn't
How
know
many
we were
sisters
poor.
and
So I'm one of 4
brothers? Okay.
that my mom and dad had together,
Okay.
and I'm the 3rd oldest.
Oh, okay.
And I am one of 11 that my dad had.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Daddy, Rolling Stone, he took that stone and threw it over in the corner. He picked it back up and threw it on the other side.
That's a good
Yeah,
one,
yeah, Daddy was something
Daddy
else.
was something else, huh?
Yeah, we knew it. My mom. That's one thing about my mom. She always made a point
Uh-huh.
to say, "That's your brother. That's your sister. Regardless of whatever happened between me and your father,
Right.
it's okay. You have
Good.
nothing to do with that." So
That's good.
yeah, we
That's
are.
good.
Yeah,
That
mom.
was
She
very
knew.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
she knew what
But
she
that
had.
was good. She let y'all know so y'all wouldn't be in updating your
Exactly.
sisters and brothers.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, they-
exactly.
And how many with your dad?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, she had
Your dad
4,
had
and then my dad had 7.
Okay.
Throughout, before and after.
My
Mhm.
dad,
Okay,
he outdid your dad.
you got me.
He has what?
My dad outdid your dad.
I mean,
My
How many
dad
your
died.
dad had?
When my dad died, the paper said he had 28.
28 kids?
That's what the paper said. Mama, I said, well, Mama, how many you know? She said 14.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, well, Daddy,
Oh, I
Daddy
thought my
was-
daddy
Daddy
was
was
something.
interesting.
Your
My
daddy
husband-
knew how
What
to.
your
He
dad
has
do?
11.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
My mama
Yeah.
had 7, another lady had
Well,
7.
you know, they
another one she-
believe in being fruitful and multiplying.
They really did.
No, they believed in me.
Well, they
Yeah.
took after my.
See, what you
Yeah.
say?
They were super free.
Yeah, they
They
were very loving back in the day.
That was real loving.
They were
back in
sharing
the
the
day.
love.
They
Yeah.
love
They
to
did.
spread their love.
Yeah.
They love to spread their love.
Yes, they
And you
did.
know, I can't fault them for it because my grandfather, he had my grandmother in my hometown, and she gave him 9 kids.
Okay.
And then he would go off for a year or 2 and family up the road, right in Cleveland,
Yeah.
which is an hour away,
Mhm.
and he had a whole nother family.
Yes.
And this is how we found out about him. My uncle, which is my daddy's youngest brother, was playing football at Mississippi Valley State.
Oh,
On the football team,
Lord.
after practice, they go in, they take the shower. He's
Uh-huh.
standing in the mirror. A guy comes up. He said, "Man, how are you doing?" He said, "I'm fine." He said, "You know, we kind of look alike. People keep telling me this on campus." And he said, "Yeah, we do kind of look alike." He said, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Cleveland." And he said, "I'm from Myersville." He said, "What's your father's name?" He said, "Sidney." Marshall. He said, that's my daddy's name.
Uh-oh.
It was the exact same father. And that's how we found out we were all related. Had a
Wow.
whole host of other
How did
aunts.
your
And
brother react to that? Did he
It was
get
my
upset?
uncle.
It was
I mean,
his
how did
uncle.
your uncle react?
I don't remember. They didn't tell me how he reacted, but I know he brought that message back. And then all of my uncles and aunts and my dad and all of them went up there to meet their family members.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah. And my grandfather was in Vicksburg at the time. Never told them about that family or anything.
Wow.
But yeah, isn't that interesting?
But you know, that is so interesting because see, nowadays it's totally different.
Yeah.
You don't do that a lot nowadays.
Who
Well,
doesn't?
you do it, but
I mean,
What? Meaning what you do? What don't you do?
educate me, you know. They don't
so we don't know.
Do they still have
oh,
it?
yes, they do.
Daddy
Yeah.
across the street with the mama
Oh,
kid.
yes, they do.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm from Kildare. I don't know all this
No,
stuff.
because they
Oh.
killed one.
Then we go to kill.
We killed one.
One man
They
had to tell it.
had to be quiet and kill them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
still
So that's
happening
me why you was asking all those questions last.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. That's how
About
he.
the range
Yes,
marriage.
Yeah.
he knew how to
Who
ask all the
started the
questions.
side chick though?
That wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you.
That was
started
Sarah.
Okay. Who?
You said who started it?
A
The
side
subject on
chick.
shot.
Last week.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant.
I
overall.
thought Stacy was.
No,
part
I
of that.
wasn't.
No,
Oh, he was. It was Stacy. huh?
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't Stacy. No,
It
it
wasn't.
Roger.
Roger started about the side chick.
I don't know if it was Roger or Marion started.
Someone.
Not you, Mary, the other Mary. Mary thought we were talking about her. So you ended up growing up, and then
Yeah.
What happened in you was 14 years old and you did all that. What happened later on?
So got fired. I got fired several times in the cotton field. And then they
That's
had
a
this
shame.
program in Mississippi where they got underserved kids or whatever
Okay.
to get in. So I worked for Unita Blackwell, the mayor.
Okay.
And I just did things at the little town hall. We didn't have a
Okay.
city; it was a town.
Okay.
And so graduated high school at 17. Thought I was going to be at Grambling State University, but my mom said, no, not going to do it.
Why she
'cause
didn't want you to go to
She
Grambling?
wanted me to go to Mississippi Valley State because that's where my family went.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
then, plus the
Right.
fact she was scared to send me out of state. I'm 17 years old, and I was green, be honest with
But in
you.
Grambling,
Very sheltered.
oh, that's right.
It's
That's
in
in
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm thinking
And then you
Mississippi.
had to pay out of fee.
State
Out of state
fees,
tuition
yeah.
fee. She didn't
Yes.
know about all of
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And it was odd because I had a full ride scholarship to Grambling. I played the trumpet. So I had a scholarship to Grambling, Valley, Jackson State, Alcorn. I
Okay.
knew I didn't want to go there because
Okay.
everybody from my hometown or Rolling Fork High went there.
Yeah.
No. So I had a good friend. She was in Oxford and said, think about Ole Miss. I said, where? So she had Ole Miss. So I rode up there, loved the campus. And I was like, gives me a fresh start. And that's why I
What is
applied.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. It's the University of Mississippi. We call it Ole Miss.
Oh,
OLE.
okay. University of Mississippi.
The
Okay.
University of Mississippi. Let's not get it twisted.
Okay. What now? What now?
We
Say
are
it
the
again.
first University of Mississippi. The University of Mississippi.
Okay, so it's two different ones. The
No,
University.
It's called the University of Mississippi,
Mississippi.
but we call it Ole Miss.
Okay.
That's
okay.
just the name that they
Okay,
give
so
or whatever.
That's where you graduated.
Predominantly white school, yeah.
Oh, really?
So I went from a school of graduating with 66 people to a school that had almost 11,000 kids in a whole nother city 3.5 hours away.
Wow.
And when I say it was a shocker,
I know it was.
culture shock, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
There were only about 500 black people
Ooh.
in Ole Miss, at Ole Miss,
Uh-huh.
in all the different programs, undergrad, grad, law school,
Mhm.
pharmacy. It was only 500. Everybody
So
knew
when-
everybody.
So when did they integrate Ole Miss? 'Cause
Back
Ole
in
Miss
James
was
Meredith day. And
Okay.
so that was back in the 60s.
60.
It was back in the
Wow.
60s when James Meredith was the first black student there.
Right.
Wow.
hmm
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I got my alumni newspaper, or alumni magazine, January, and I think we are probably close to 3,500 to 4,000 black
Now.
students enrolled.
Oh, okay.
But there's close to 17 or 18,000 students there.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a great university. I stayed in Oxford 8 years. I taught school for 2 years, realized that was not for me. I mean, hats off to teachers and all of that.
Salutes to teachers.
But it was not for
for
me.
you. I hear you.
Mm-mm.
Wasn't for me either.
It was, oh, is it? Yeah.
I thought I wanted to be, but after
My parents, they kept pushing, teach school.
well,
I
that's
got
all
in
they
there.
knew
That's
then.
all they knew.
Then.
Right,
It was like
right.
that.
I wasn't making any money. I was dealing with these hard-headed kids. They thought they
About to
knew
kill 'em.
everything. Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, these are the students that are the children of the people I graduated high
Right,
school
right,
with that had
yeah.
kids in school.
Thank you.
And they had no home training. I mean, mama and daddy would come up there and act a fool with you at the school and curse you
Ooh, they
out.
still
And
doing that now.
I said, no, we can't do this because I'm going to catch a case and I'll be locked up. So,
Your sister over here would have
I would.
Oh, yeah, you're
we
caught a
probably would be down there on separate sales.
well, I almost caught a case. And so I applied for some jobs in Dallas, thought I wanted to live in Dallas, and then I got scared. Well, you know, growing up around family, and then you hearing all this, Dallas is racist. Dallas
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a
All
lot
the
of people
stories.
getting killed in Dallas, you know. I'm like, do I really want to do that? So I thought I was going to be in Memphis.
Okay.
I mean, it was
Okay,
worse in Memphis.
Tennessee.
Yeah, it was worse in
Yeah.
Memphis. But that opportunity went away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into that story, but it was unfortunate. The opportunity went away because someone passed away. And so the transit company, DART, brought me to Dallas. And I've been in Texas for 22 years.
Really? So your DART brought you here?
DART
You started
brought me
working
here.
for DART?
Mhm. They
Wow.
needed an extension of their marketing department
Okay.
to work with the group they call their program and planning.
Mhm.
Those are the people that planned all the rail systems and
Mhm.
the bus routes. And I was basically a gopher. Fresh out of
okay.
college,
Right.
they felt, okay, well, we can pay him low pay and work him hard. And they did, 7 days a week. And I started writing speeches for the president of the agency at that time.
Mhm.
And it just blossomed from there.
Wow.
Did you have experience in writing speeches?
I did, because we had to take public speaking courses in
Okay.
college.
Okay.
And so, and it was like, you had to have a different speech to get in front of the class, and then,
Oh, I hate
you know,
it.
that type of thing. So yeah, we had to, and then I majored in English and journalism. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, we had to write all the time.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I hate that.
That's why
That's
your questions were so lengthy.
Oh, there?
That's it was a long.
No, he just
I'm
being
sorry.
messy.
I was-
I wasn't being messy. I was writing a thesis.
inquisitive.
He's like, he went all the way down. This, and then this, and I was like,
I just wanted to
okay,
make sure we were
dissertation.
clear.
No,
One
it
thing
was
I
good.
learned,
It was good, though. It was
one
good.
thing I
It was
learned,
good.
you got to make certain you're clear. Because, you know, when you're sending
You
text
right about
messages
that.
like that, it could be misconstrued.
Right.
You know,
Women
that's
gonna
why.
misconstrue what you say anyway.
Oh, well,
We
you
gonna-
said
we
it
gonna
now.
dig- we gonna dig
This
down
is
in
being
there.
recorded, right?
We're gonna dig down in there and see what you really
'Cause I'm
trying
need to
to
send
say
that to a
behind
few
the
more
scene.
people.
You know, that's what that lady was like. What was he really
Stacy's
trying
just
to say?
outspoken like that.
I know it was good. It was good.
It's good. He's
Yeah,
I
all the
just
ladies
mean-
hype. All the ladies were hype. They were
Okay,
hype.
good. It was a good program. It's a great program.
So how did you start with the urban development? I mean,
So
what made you?
let me
go
jump
into that?
quickly over. DART brought me here,
Uh-huh.
low paying for me. I ended up working for several engineering firms. I always did marketing, business development, public relations.
Oh, that's good.
And so I kind of got tired of that industry because I was on a plane 4 days out of a week.
Oh.
And my sister had her son, and I ended up raising him. He'll be 16 in August.
Wow.
But I took on that responsibility to raise Jaden.
Okay.
So that means I needed to quit that job, get off that plane. So I took a job at the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce
Okay.
and
okay.
stayed there a couple of years. I kept getting these phone calls, come to Fort Worth, we want you here. And this job came up, and it just was a natural fit because I always marketed Fort Worth. I always worked with the mayors and the city council members and all of that to get, because so when I worked for architects and engineers, they would say your quota is to go out and make $250 million worth of work.
Right.
So my buildings had to start at $25 million to make that quota.
Right.
And so mostly that you're going to find that in, you know, municipalities and healthcare and that. And so you have to deal with the different people. And so I worked with a lot of developers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just a natural fit for me to come to Southeast because I had the marketing, I had the background and connections with the political people here already in Tarrant County and Fort Worth. And then I also knew how to reach out to the developers to bring opportunity to the area itself.
So how long you been with Southeast Fort Worth?
I've been a little bit of January 5th mark, 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
6 years there. 6 long years.
We know
Great
that.
years, but long years.
It's a lot of work at
It's a lot.
what Stacy does. So what is going on with
Okay.
can you whatever you can
Sure.
share with us on what's happening?
So let me just talk a little bit. We diversified our board of directors. When I
Okay.
first got there 6 years ago, we had like 6 people.
Mhm.
And we started adding different people. And what I looked around the city I looked around the city and realized, we need people from outside of Southeast.
Right.
So I brought in people that didn't look like me, but people had a stake or wanted to have a stake in Southeast development. And so right now we're sitting 17 board members, and we have 79.3 square miles that I'm responsible for. Wow. So that's east of 35 to Lake Arlington.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
south of I-30 to I-20. That's 79.3 square miles.
My Lord.
I said, that's too much. We're not going to do that. So then we had 6 urban villages in my footprint that were supposed to do all this. You create an urban village, and then it's going to have all this development happen, like Berry, Stalka, Berry, Riverside, that type of place. I said, that's too many. So we're just only going to tackle 2. And so because we tackled 2, we now have our first independent RFP that went out for Evans and Rosedale. And we hired a master developer. Y'all have seen that in the paper, heard about that. So basically, we're trying to redo that area.
You said Evans and Rosedale.
Evans and Rosedale.
Okay, how far does
because
Rosedale goes a long way.
So it's north of Rosedale. So take Evans, where Evans and Rosedale meet right there by Miss Oba Lee's museum, where the Mount Olive Church is.
Yeah.
Mount Zion Church.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. So everything north of Rosedale going to Terrell. All right?
Oh, okay.
By the Hazel Harvey Peace Building.
Yes.
And then everything east of the frontage road on I-35 coming back just across Evans. So the little buildings you may see on Evans to the east, you have the NAACP building, then you have the Women's Federation building going north on Evans. That little area that where all is vacant, that's going to be developed.
Okay,
Oh, really?
Oh,
What
wow.
about Lloyd's and
No, Lois is not part of this
Lloyd's
development.
is a staple in the
Lloyd's not
community.
part, so
Yeah, it's too far east.
so this side won't have anything to do with the new development.
Not the one that we have planned on Evans and Rosedale.
Oh, okay. So are y'all gonna plan on breaking down this way?
Well, growth will happen and come east. That is the plan.
Don't mess with Lloyd's. It's a
Lloyd's
staple
is a staple.
in the
No, well,
community.
Let me just tell you.
Lord's gonna have a
So
fit.
I hear they have great barbecue, but I haven't tried it yet. I went over there several times and they kept saying you too early because I went like 11:30. They said we don't cook till 2. So I went over there one day at 2:30 and they said, oh no, we're gonna cook at 4. So I was just like, okay,
Forget it.
forget it.
You just gotta wait
But-
till it got a simmer.
Is that what it is?
You gotta-
It's got to simmer. That's what I got to do. I got to get my hands and
You
simmer.
gotta wait a while. You gotta wait.
They got
Look,
a seasoning.
They
Well,
do.
since
You
I'm
got
over
to have on the
here.
right shorts. You got the
Oh,
right
yeah.
outfit. You gotta be out. Like kind of like a tailgate, but different type
Oh,
of
well, I'm gonna have to have you with me then, because I want to try it.
But see, Kim drive through there when
I
she
drive
get here.
through,
She
yeah.
go right through there when she come over
I
here.
came through there too.
Did you really?
I missed the other
Oh.
road, but I came through there.
Yeah, you feel like you far.
Okay,
And so, yeah, the plan is eventually we're
Okay.
going to have some development move east, along Rosedale.
But if you go down Rosedale on the other side, what is that? Texas
Texas Wesleyan.
They started doing some work over
Yeah.
there. Did they
So
stop it or what?
it's still
It's
going
still
up.
going
It's
'cause
going-
that's-
so that's our catalyst project, we call it, because it sits in the middle of Southeast.
Right.
And so Texas Wesleyan is going to continue to expand
Yes.
and grow and develop along itself. It's actually in one of our urban villages.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to start, because they just got approved for another dormitory, 100 room dormitory they're going to put over there. So they're bringing kids to the campus. And therefore, by bringing kids to the campus, you got to have amenities. You got to have a place for them to go and have entertainment, to eat,
Yeah.
and the whole 9 yards. So
Wow.
it's, growth is slow. People need to understand nothing happens overnight.
It ain't microwave.
Mm-mm. If you look at the near south side over in the hospital district,
Mhm.
Mike Brennan started with the city, who's the president over there.
Okay.
So they're our sister Inc., basically.
Okay.
They started, he was with the city, he came on board there, and they're like 25 years old, 26 years old, but it took them 20 years
Wow.
to get this, what they have now.
Yeah.
So, and working with developers,
You're right.
we went through a pandemic.
Right.
People
Oh,
weren't
that's
spending
not
their
right.
money because people were watching
Right.
to see what was going to
What's
happen.
gonna happen?
I had a couple of people that was looking to do a nice developments, and then they said, "Oh, we need to hold up." because we don't know what the money's going to look like, the stock market, you know, the whole 9 yards. And then they have to get the capital from their investors and their bankers and things like that. So.
Oh, okay
Let
then.
me ask a question.
Sure.
Okay, since you do Texas Westland
Mhm.
and coming towards this way,
Mhm.
are they? Do you know if any developers are considering developing this area right in here? I know you say it's going to take a while, but exactly how long do you think it would take a while? And I noticed that most of the churches have remodeled their churches.
Mhm.
So would that development also include tearing that church down? Or?
Okay, where's the camera? I'm looking at that camera.
Yeah, look at the camera.
I don't advocate for any churches to be torn down.
That was a question. That was
I know
just a
what you mean.
question.
I know.
So, development.
I mean, how far
so-
y'all gonna go? Oh,
so-
I mean,
I would say this. I can't tell you a time
right.
frame,
time frame.
but I would say probably 10 years or less. You
Okay.
probably won't know Rosedale for what Rosedale.
Well,
I
some
mean,
parts of Rosedale
looks
I
like.
don't know. It
So,
scares me. Yeah.
the churches that just remodeled or built their new church will still be there,
Right.
but the land around that may have
You mean
changed.
the homes and stuff?
Yeah,
they'll be
it may be different. Not the homes, but there's a lot of vacant lots.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like where the Grand Theater is located and coming back east toward the bridge, the overpass. So I'm sure there's going to be a developer that's going to come and buy that up and develop it.
You think they'll tear down the Grand Theater because that's a landmark.
Well, it's not historic to
Oh,
my
it's not?
understanding,
It's not.
but it's personally owned. Now it has great bones to it or whatever. It's privately owned.
Mhm.
I would not want to see it torn down, but I would like to see it rehab.
Right.
And basically somebody coming in and doing something, because the lawn facing Rosedale, there's enough grass there to have something exciting that could
Yeah,
really
right.
happen
It
there.
really is not. I
Yeah.
mean, we went in there.
Yes,
They
we did.
was talking about renting out, but they renting out too much for
Yeah, they are.
the condition that it's in. But it's really a nice old theater that
Building.
could be redeveloped. That could really be a nice going back. You know, because a lot of
Yeah.
times they go back to all
Yeah.
this old stuff,
They do.
like the drive-in theaters.
Mhm.
You know, some of them are
Yeah.
redoing those.
Yeah,
But
because they
what
were.
about apartments and stuff? Are they still building? I know you probably don't have nothing to do with the one on where what is that? Resource Connect. You know they built those right there on 20. I mean on you know right there on Campus Drive. You know they
Yeah,
got
Campus
those
Drive.
little-
Yeah.
Yeah, over
Mhm.
there.
What you talk.
So those were done by Fort Worth Housing Solutions.
Are they for housing?
Yes, those
I
are housing
said that.
apartments. The ones down by the VA outpatient clinic are Fort Worth
Right, that's
Housing.
the one.
The ones that are coming back north on Campus Drive behind the townhomes before you
Right.
get to OD White, that's Fort
Right.
Worth Housing Solutions.
Those
as
are
well.
forward housing.
Really?
Are
So
they
those-
were they generated
So-
from Butler? I mean, when they
Yeah,
closed
well,
down Butler's?
yes and no. It was
Okay.
already on the plans that they know they needed to relocate people
Right
from
right.
Butler as well as Calvert Place.
Yeah.
And they know that they also have to have housing for people that can't afford,
Right.
you know, I guess you could say buying a house or whatever,
Right, right.
that have vouchers. So the plan was to put that there, but it made more sense to try to relocate people that was already getting out of
Already
Butler
there.
and Calvert Place. Because if you
Oh,
think
okay.
about it, you got two major housing authorities being developed at the same time. So you have a lot of families coming out at the same
Yeah.
time. So yeah, it made sense,
Because
perfect
they done
sense.
shut down Butler altogether.
Butler
right?
shut down, Calvert's torn
Are they
down.
gonna redevelop that? Do you
It will be redeveloped.
Tear
Mhm.
down all that stuff.
Now
and
they have
redevelop?
12 buildings, to my understanding, I think it's 12,
Mhm.
that are designated historic buildings.
Okay.
So they cannot be torn down.
Oh, really?
But they could be repurposed,
right.
and they could be brought back to life in a different way.
You talking like the railroad off of
I don't know
downtown.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the 12 actual buildings that have been designated
Okay.
historic, but they are there. And so
Really?
conversations are being had. I'm actually on the advisory committee right now to talk through what's the best and highest use for that property.
Wow.
You know,
That's a
'cause
lot of property.
It's a lot of property sitting right there, just on the southeast side of downtown, and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
it's
that would be
beautiful
rich
and it's
development.
hilly and
Well, what
everything.
happened to isn't Fort Worth Housing still there? What is
Fort Worth
that?
Housing Solutions,
It's still there, right?
yeah, their office building
It's there.
was in that school that they purchased,
Okay.
but they have purchased
I am
another
Terrell?
building. No, it was a middle school
Okay.
Oh, that was
That-
a middle school?
Yeah, I believe that was a middle school.
Oh, okay.
And that sit right there in the
Yeah.
middle of the housing,
Of Butler, yeah.
of Butler housing.
Yeah.
It sits to the north.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay.
Okay, so Fort Worth Housing Solutions is actually moving, to
Oh,
my
okay.
understanding,
Okay.
to a
they
new
won't be
location so that they could free that space
there.
up and do something else with that building.
Yeah, because that's where I used to go over there and do workshops and stuff. But
Yeah.
wow.
Well,
Yeah.
what about
That's
the
interesting.
school? They're gonna keep the school there, right?
Nope. That's why the committee's meeting now to discuss the best.
Are they still
wait,
using
now.
the school?
Are you talking about the building
No,
where
the building is
Fort
not the
Worth
school
Housing?
now.
No, it's not a school.
that
It's
was
their
the-
office
That's
building.
what it used to be.
Oh, it's an office building.
It's an office. That's what Fort
Well,
Worth
what happened to
Housing.
the elementary school that was on
You
the
talking
hill?
about I Am Terrell or what?
I am Terrell.
No.
Okay.
We talking about
So I
something
Am
else.
Terrell is, they turned that into the STEM Academy.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
building, and they added that
Okay.
new addition onto that.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
And then the other building, which was the school that sits right there on the property of Butler Housing,
Right.
that's Fort Worth Housing Solutions
Solutions.
office.
Yeah, that's where they have the office.
Good Lord.
But they're
I Am Terrell
relocating.
is still there. 'cause
I
they
Am
do
Terrell is
STEM,
still
yeah.
there. STEM Academy's there. It's
Right.
not going away.
They just remodeled that.
They
didn't
remodeled and
that.
added
It
a
looks
new
nice.
addition. Yeah.
So
And stuff.
it's boy, that's mind boggling. How do you relax? I mean, it's just like do.
He does relax.
I don't. I was working all the time. All the time.
Your mind's
My mind
always
never shuts
working,
down.
It never shut down.
Because you got to go out there and develop
Yeah.
these projects. You
Yeah.
got to go meet with people,
All the
bringing
time.
jobs in. You know,
Yeah.
I heard some of your stuff on the Black Chamber thing the other day.
Oh,
I
really?
said, "There goes Stacy. He's on." I always tune
Yeah.
in every Thursday with
Okay.
Daryl.
With Daryl, yeah.
Everything you was
His group.
on there last
Yeah,
week
it's-
Wow.
with
yeah,
the lady.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Janie from the governor's
You're
office.
amazing young
Mhm.
man.
Well, thank you.
Very amazing.
So what? I know you said some developments are coming to South Fort Worth East.
There. So let's talk about the one on Berry and Stallcup.
Okay, yeah.
So if you remember Councilmember Bibbins, about 7 or 8 years ago, there was an old Dairy Queen. They pushed it
Right.
down, and then the land stayed vacant for a while.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, we selected a developer to start that process for us to build, and then it didn't go through. But now we just selected another one.
Oh, okay.
And so hopefully we'll have those announcements coming out in the next month or so, and what they
Okay.
plan to do on that property.
So I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good.
So do you ever get a developer where they start the job but don't finish? So what do you? I mean,
All the time.
Yes,
That's all the time.
All the time.
I mean, yeah.
All
It
the
could be a
time.
number of reasons. It could be
Yes.
that they run out of money,
Yeah.
or they decided,
That's right.
hey, this is not what I want. I want to invest my money in another area or another city, so we're going to put this project on hold. And then you're just stuck and at the mercy of that developer. You know, it's the only thing that we could do if they didn't own the property. So as an example, if the city owned it or the county owned it, we could go back to someone else to reduce, figure out a best way to use it. But if that developer bought that land, it's hard to, as long as they're paying their taxes, it's hard for us to make anything happen. But it happens all the time. In every city, everybody faces the same thing.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I know you might not, but you probably heard about it. I was listening to the news the other day, and they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to make it a law or what. They're trying to bring casinos into Texas.
Mhm.
I don't know where they're going to put them, but what do you think about that? The casinos, or can you even
Well, I'm
talk
gonna be
about
honest
that?
with you. I am an advocate for casinos to be in the state because all of our money is
It's
going
going
to
out.
Louisiana or
Right,
Oklahoma. You know, and if-
Mississippi.
or Mississippi.
Yeah.
If you drive up in those parking lots, you see
They-
Texas
All
tax.
you see is, especially at the one up there.
Oh, yeah.
What's the one? Windstar.
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 When you seen it,
Texas.
so
I
you
know
know.
Pastor in the
Huh?
Windstar.
You
What
said
she
what?
say?
Windstar.
Wednesday.
She had to, how she know the tag to the Windstar?
That's the one I was telling you about. I got caught up there trying to sneak up that 26. It's been a while now.
She was at Windstar and you at LaBelle. What's going on? Do I need to know?
Well, we are sinners saved by grace, We are sinners, hallelujah, saved by grace. But it's been some years since I've been pastor for 11 years. So,
But-
Kim, I haven't been to the
Linda looking
casino
at
since
signs
I've
and
been
you
pastor.
looking at license plates.
Okay.
And then I get the wigs don't help. 'cause they
We don't
still
help.
call me out and stuff. But I haven't been since I've been pastoring y'all.
But
But
are they
you know
gonna?
I
They need
don't-
to bring
but-
casinos here.
I think
It'll
it
bring
would-
jobs.
I think it would be great as long as they use the money that they get from the casinos right for the kids, education, put it into the public schools.
Yes.
Right.
And
To the
also it's going to
independent
create
schools.
jobs.
It'll create jobs.
Mhm.
You know, it'll create tourism
Right.
as well. You know, now where they're going to put it, I have no idea.
Yeah, they
Unlike-
say that.
Because in Mississippi and I think Louisiana, you have to have
Have it
on the water.
Right.
We don't have that body of water other than lakes. And the lakes in North Texas are pretty much developed. They're beautiful homes around it.
Right.
I mean, you can put it on Lake Arlington, but
They
on
got
our
the
side.
Rock Wall too.
yeah,
You know
but
they got those nice hotels on Rock Wall.
they do.
Yeah.
But it all depends. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how.
And they
what
can
they
be
plan.
on one. You know, in Mississippi, don't they have that one? Or was it Biloxi?
Oh, no,
Don't
no.
they
Biloxi.
have one?
Biloxi has
Oh, I
them.
was thinking Rockwall was this way, but you.
No,
pointed
Rock
that
Wall
way.
is east past Dallas.
Which
Mhm.
way we face? See, when I
Okay,
came
we
in,
are.
I got
East
turned
is that
around.
way. East is that way.
Because I saw her.
That's north.
I saw her throw it.
Oh, throw the finger up.
She went that way.
Oh.
That's what I was like. I'm just gonna say, she said
Leave
back.
it to Kim.
Because
Yeah.
she said Killdale was that way when she said everything,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
that
going
way.
30,
She
it's
brought
going
everything
30.
back that way.
You know, and here you get it mixed up. You don't know north, south, east, or west.
No, I'm saying whenever you're sitting there, you always say everything's that way.
I know. 'Cause- but isn't it one in Biloxi that's out there in the
It
water?
is.
I remember.
Yeah,
Each-
yeah.
Well,
each
most of
casino-
the casinos in Mississippi
Mhm.
and
It's,
Louisiana are on the water.
They have to be.
It's some
Yeah.
kind, they have to be because it's some kind of law.
It's a
But
law
this
that
one
says
you
that.
have to
Yeah.
use a boat to go. I went to it.
What?
Oh, that was way before. That's when I was out there in the world. Hallelujah.
You went to go eat.
Yeah,
That's
I
how you
know.
went. You didn't go
But
gamble.
that-
You went to eat.
But
She
they
went to
had,
eat.
but
We're
they
gonna
had
say- we're
the
gonna say-
casinos out there though.
Yeah.
They had the little ones, the little slot machines
Where did
on
you
that
go to
one.
buy them?
That was
It was
years
in
ago.
Biloxi.
That
We
was
stopped
years
in
ago.
That was
Biloxi.
years ago.
Yeah,
Before
years
the
ago.
that's probably before the casinos became legal.
Okay.
And they
Right.
were out there doing it
Oh,
on the
shoot.
water.
Yeah, you was on
Ah,
a legal
Yeah,
boat.
you
So
were-
why does it
you
have
were
to
out
be on
there.
the water?
You was on a
Mhm.
legal
Why they
boat.
have
I
to
was
be
on the
water?
illegal
Well-
boat.
Well, Mississippi is considered part of the Bible Belt. in a
Yeah, because
sense.
see, we was down
And
there
so
for a church convention.
The good Christians.
Yeah, you was on
Yeah.
the
we went down there for a church
Yeah,
convention,
you
and
was a
they said,
leader.
let's all go to this little thing on the boat, and the boat took us way out there, and
Yeah.
it was really nice,
Mhm.
and they had those the little small slides. It wasn't like the big ones.
sister.
Uh,
That was illegal.
oh,
That was
well, I didn't know.
Yeah, that was illegal.
You know, that's
know.
what that was.
Yeah.
Set up from them.
Okay.
She said, sister.
But I'm a business
Yeah.
then.
That was
But
illegal.
I was
sister.
ignorant then. I didn't know Kimberly. I just didn't
Yeah.
know, but I enjoyed the boat
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah, but to answer your question, so in
What was her
Mississippi,
question first?
she asked why did the boats have to be on the water? And I told her because we were in the Bible Belt. Mississippi's in the Bible Belt. Plus the fact the good Christians in the state, they felt that, that's one way they could keep the casinos from coming. But then the casinos got creative and they
Uh-huh.
said, oh, you can put it on the water. But they didn't realize that you could put a structure like a boat on the water and
On the
attach
water.
it to a hotel.
Right,
And you wouldn't even know you're on the water
right.
when you're on the boat.
We sure didn't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
You
Because when
really
you walk,
don't know you're
unless
on
you
water.
walk it like in Vicksburg, when you're walking on the casino, you see the river or
Right.
whatever. But once you're on that boat, no, you, don't know.
you ain't trying to see nothing but
No, you're
those
trying to
slot
see-
machines.
I don't. I eat at the casino.
But that's really what
No,
I
I don't know.
was to go down there
Yeah,
and get that food.
to get that food.
Especially at that one in Louisiana. I can't think of the name of it.
It was
But
in New
anyway.
Orleans or
No,
yeah, the
Shreveport.
one.
in Shreveport. Okay.
Yeah, Shreveport.
What's wrong with
Samstown, Harris,
That was it.
Boomtown,
Hara, and then it was another one.
Boomtown.
Boomtown.
Oh yeah.
Town.
I haven't
with
been there in so
Galveston?
long though.
Hmm?
Can you put the casino in Galveston?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sure could put
They
one
could
down there
put
because
one
it's
down
by the water.
Yeah, they put one in
They gonna
Dallas.
find one in Texas, Washington City.
Yeah.
They
Somewhere.
They're
can
gonna
also
find
put
one.
one in Houston.
Houston would be really
Yeah,
good.
and like
Yeah.
Houston would gain a lot of traffic from down
They
there.
can put one there.
And they
Yeah.
could put one really in Galveston
Yep.
because that would be a good because a lot of people, Mississippi,
And the young
Louisiana
kids.
is close to it
Yeah.
too, and everything like that.
I know they tried to do one in Dallas. That's why they tore down the Reunion Arena that time,
Uh-huh.
which is downtown, and they were trying to get it passed then to put a casino there, but it didn't happen. But
With them good old Bible Belt people.
good old Bible.
Joe Kool-Aid.
But you have to think
But
about
you gotta think about
there's
it.
so many people coming to North
Yeah.
Texas from all over.
Over, yeah,
The landscape is changing.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of independent thinking people that
You're
don't
right.
understand the Fort Worth way, the Dallas way,
Right, yeah.
you know,
Right.
and they want
true.
those types of amenities that they're used to.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, if you think about it, look how they did Texas Live.
Yeah.
You know, they got Texas Live is awesome,
Yeah.
and how they came
It
in and took that property and built up Texas Live. They got the hotels all around
And
it,
doing
all the
another,
eating
It's
places.
and
really
doing
nice.
another
It's
1,000-room hotel.
Yeah, that
Really?
Lowe's. So I think it's
Where's
Lowe's.
Texas Live?
It's right there in Arlington, right there
By
where
the
the Texas Rangers, the new
Mhm.
stadium.
Oh, okay.
It's right
Mhm.
over there. I mean, it is
Yeah.
really
It is nice.
nice.
It is. It's
They
so
got about
nice.
what 30,
Arlington is
40
so
little cities in
congested,
there,
though.
and
Yeah.
for them not to have a bus thing, but we ain't gonna worry about that.
It looks it, but when you get
That's
out
the
and
voters.
walk,
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't look when you're walking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing too. When I got out of the car and I started walking through, it didn't feel as congested as it looked when I drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they took
Yeah.
a view of my cowboy, my AT&T Stadium.
You know.
Don't roll your eyes. Are you a cowboy fan?
Oh, wait a minute.
I didn't get you what you were saying. No, because I know y'all ask every
She's a
time.
Raider fan.
I know y'all ask
And
every
he didn't-
time.
We asked everybody to come
He
on
saw
the
me
show
get
if
him
you're a
that
Cowboy
I'm
fan.
gonna support
Look,
the
Elma, wait a minute.
Cowboys.
I gave him that look,
Because
and
he
then
on
he
the
turned
show
and
because
tonight.
I'm on the show
looked at me.
tonight.
We gonna finish what we started part 2 with Stacy. We gonna kick him off the show right now.
I grew up a Steelers fan.
I told you Stacy is a fast talker. He
I
know
grew
how
up
to
a Steelers-
he know how to I don't care as long as he take me back to house for pancakes. And we
We
can
can
sit
do
there and
that.
eat that pancake.
not
I'm cool with it. Look, she
Look,
mad at you.
Elma.
But
I'm
we
sorry, we
did
can
this
do that.
during work time.
We did. That was work time.
You
Work
can't take off
time,
like
work.
me and Stacy.
Oh yeah. But we gonna make a
We gonna make it. We'll make it.
Elma, it was funny because I looked at him when I answered the question, and I gave him a look, and he looked at me like, and then he turned to you, and you gave him the same look. He was like,
He gonna laugh. Like, you see how he put that little laugh in there. He's
I
smart.
was like,
He's
wait a
smart.
minute, and she over there going,
She's a Raider
Raider
fan. She's a Raider fan, you know. But we still love her.
Okay.
Okay, she's a
Okay.
Raider. We don't discriminate, but we know it's Cowboy Nation.
I have my cowboy jersey and the
Yes.
whole 9 yards. So
You
know,
good with us,
I'm
man.
good.
You
You
good
good with us.
Stacy. You're
You
good.
don't have one?
No, dear.
Oh, she's a Raider fan.
I know
We
she's a
would
Raider
want her
fan,
to-
but
we do not
got
want
them.
her to wear no Cowboy fan.
No.
Nothing.
Okay.
she's off limits to her.
I mean, no Cowboy fan.
She
We
said
can't
she
go to
But
the
she
game.
welcome.
We need to go to the game.
You know.
We need to go
Oh, I
to the
already
game.
been to the games.
Mm.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
No.
she's a Raider fan.
So how long will these developments develop?
Okay.
Because they working on the highways and it develop and develop in the
Oh, they
same
just
day,
Highways will
tolls.
forever
ever
be
in
worked
a
on.
day.
I mean, you can't build enough highway
Highways.
here because so many people are moving so fast
Yeah.
here or whatever. But if everything goes according to plan, the Berry Stalker project, I would say 3 years from now, you should have a
Really?
development. And then if everything goes according to plans with Evans and Rosedale, we're looking at another 2.5, 3 years for that.
Because see, the money that they get with the bonds, they have to
Mhm.
spend that money.
They
So
do.
if
They
they
do.
don't spend it, they'll lose it. So they
How
gonna have
many
to.
how many years you have for the bonds?
It just depends.
It all depends.
It just
Now-
depends
How
on
many
what.
years?
Yeah. It all depends on what incentives that developer got as well.
Mhm.
Because they'll give you a time limit.
Limit.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, starting on this date, once you execute that contract, you got to have it completed by then.
And like he said
Mhm.
before, some of them take the money or run, some of them mess it up, then
Mhm.
they got to find something. So
Did
it
you
goes
come
into
in
a lot
on-
with development.
Did you come and visit the Epic
The Epic?
in my city, in Grand Prairie? The Epic.
No. Epic Waters?
Mhm.
No, I have not.
Wow. Shame on you.
Well, I'm okay. So I have
And the Epic
OCD
Gym,
in a sense.
And then the Summit.
So I have OCD, and I'm good now, better than I was. I don't do dirty water. I don't do pools and things like that. I don't like the
I
idea
said,
of.
come see the development.
Oh, I've seen the
Beautiful it
development.
is.
Oh, no,
that's
no,
what I
no.
meant.
I've been all up through there and
Oh,
everything.
good,
Yeah,
good. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I like what they've done.
they've done great things over there. I mean, surprising. I mean, I was really surprised
Me
that
too.
that Grand Prairie did that.
They stepped
Oh,
it up.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they hit a home run with
They
that.
did.
Grand
They
Prairie looking
really
nice.
did.
Yes.
I like
It
those
is.
hotels that they got on 20 over there.
Mm-hmm. And they
Yeah.
did
They got some
161.
nice.
Yeah.
They really did
Yeah,
a good job on
161 is looking good over there, where the police
Yes.
station and all of
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
You know, Grand Prairie has a lot of land.
They should
Right.
Yes.
So, you know, whereas Arlington is landlocked, basically,
Right.
Grand Prairie is still growing. And I mean, I expect to see a lot more things happen.
Absolutely.
Because as more people come to this city, they're going to start being the Frisco and
Yeah.
McKinney and all of that down here, so to speak, y'all.
What was your question?
My question is Riverside and Berry.
Riverside and
Do
Berry,
y'all cover that
we
development?
do.
Okay, and there I was informed that they're building a senior resident over
Yes,
there.
it's topped off already.
Okay.
So that pretty much they're just doing the inside work now, and they're doing some of the landscaping
Mhm.
and everything. So
Mhm.
yeah, that development is an awesome development that really set that corner off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would encourage you to go by there and take a look at that.
Oh, I am because I
Mhm.
was my girlfriend. She said, "You know they building a senior." She said, "I don't understand why they building that pretty building on Riverside and Berry." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know." I said, "I can ask." So
Well, so the developer who did it, he's always been around Southeast Fort Worth doing great things in terms of development in the area. And he owned the land. It kind of made sense basically because of the fact of what he did at Sierra Vista, which is the homes inside the wall, which sits next to it.
Right.
So 2 years ago, he made it a conscious effort to go ahead and fill in those vacant 100 lots.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he built some on the outside of the wall as well.
Really,
And then he owns where the old Montgomery Ward building is across the
Right.
street.
right?
And then just look for some opportunity to come in there pretty soon. And then to the north of that is a patch of land. And you're about to see some things pop up, I would say, in the next several months.
Really.
So it made sense to put the senior living center there because that whole corridor is what we call it. The Bear Riverside corridor is about to take off. You're about to see cranes in the air and dirt flying.
Wow.
You gotta see what?
Cranes in the air and
Oh,
dirt flying.
And dirt flying.
Yes.
Okay, Stacy, we have our own little special fashion show for
Oh,
you
okay.
tonight that Kim is going
Work
to
it.
do.
Work it.
Work
And,
it.
Stacey, you gonna come with me down there?
do you want
Mm-mm.
do you
Y'all
want
ain't
to
got
put
to-
your shoes up there so they can see
I know.
your shoes?
Oh, yes.
Put her
yes.
shoes up there. Can you see her shoes, Emmanuel?
Emmanuel
These are her
is
shoes
trying
with her
to
white
shorten the
toenails.
runway. He's trying to
Okay,
shorten my
so
runway.
we want to make sure you get her shoes, okay? All right, Kim is going to model, and then we're going to show you our T-shirts by Kirk Inspirations in a few minutes.
Okay, since Emmanuel is shortening my runway here, I'm gonna stand right here.
Make sure you put it on her shoes. Can you zoom in on her shoes?
Do the running man. Anyway, this is my blueberry outfit. Sebastian came. No, well, he didn't come home, but they're in port right now. So I decided to put this on because he called his mommy. He called his mommy to say, "Hey, Mom." And I was like, "Yay, Sebastian." I can't say where he is, but he's in port right now. He's been out to sea for 4 weeks, just sitting on the water. He's the last one that just absolutely loves his mom because I'm the one that can send him snacks, okay?
She's so funny.
He needs me so I can send him snacks. So I decided to just wear this, and there are no more bad days. Woohoo,
That's
woohoo.
beautiful.
What
Okay.
about your purse?
Oh, yes, my
You got
and your
some-
Highmark. Yes, yes, reflective. Yes, yes.
You got to get the Leo lion.
I know
T-shirt.
we got to show that one. Did you walk down your little short way?
I'm a sachet.
Come on, Miriam. I'm gonna help you.
Come on,
help me with,
Miriam. Come on, Miriam. Come on.
Okay. And also, we're going to introduce you to Kirk Inspirations. And we're gonna let Miriam, show your shirt by
So
Kirk
go ahead,
Inspirations.
do it. Look at that. Look
Work
at that. Look at that.
And look at those shoes she have on. Go girl. I love it. I love it. That's one of those shirts in here. If you can help me out here by holding this one up. This one is one he just got off the press this day. It's inspired. And if you notice, it has a lamb up there. And we're giving this one to Stacy because he's a lamb. Leo. Is
I'm
that
a
what you
Leo.
said? He's a Leo.
I'm
the
a
lamb.
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo, yeah. Leo the lion.
And
August
then
7th.
we have this one. It's one, and we also do special. He will design them. You
Okay.
can send him a
He's on the
design,
front
and
end.
he
My
will.
son is July.
Hey, he'll just hook you up with that one, okay? And then this one is a beautiful. I
Thank
love this one. This one is God is dope. I'm learning all this slang, y'all. I didn't know what dope meant at first. I thought it meant something else. I have to be careful with all this new terminology. And this one is God is the answer. We're just trying to get people saved out there, filled with the blood. So wear these shirts, and y'all can also get these at www.kirkinspirations.com. This is one of his other businesses that he has.
My t-shirt.
And then I love this one here. This is another one. It has a panda bear because people love animals. So
Yeah.
animals can inspire us. Okay.
Where's my t-shirt?
I don't know which one.
The line.
And then we have this one. I'm still trying to learn what savage means, but they
Oh,
say it's a
savage.
terminology out there.
Yes.
I don't know what it means, but when I think of savage, I don't know. All I can say is savage. But you know, these young people, they up to date. And this one is, I just saw the movie the other night, Godzilla versus King Kong. It was okay. I think the younger version probably like it better than me and stuff. And this is one that I really like. I love the colors. He can put them in different colors for you, that you can want whatever color. Just let us know. If you need a special design, we can do that for you. If it's a picture, family reunion shirt, or class reunion, whatever it is, I guarantee you, www.kirkinspirations, we will make a t-shirt for you. Thank you, Marion. And she already had the tri-guard, but this is in another color with her, okay? Did y'all check out her tennis shoes? I tell you, Marion is tough, baby. Check her out on Facebook, too. You ought to check her page out.
They can buy them online.
And yes, and you can buy them online when you go to www.kirkinspirations.com. You will be able to purchase your t-shirt, and we wrap them up real beautiful, and they'll come right to your address. So check us out. And probably the first Monday or the second Monday in May, we're going to have our very first t-shirt fashion show. So you'll be able to see all of the t-shirts, the new ones and all. So hook me up if you want to be one of our models, the model these up. You know Kim gonna be in it. And Linda gonna be in it. Hopefully Marion will be there. We might even pull Stacy in it. Yes! We'll probably pull Stacy in there. Let him come. He go stuck in the stomach again. But anyway, Stacy, what would you like to say before we close out?
Yes.
Can they find you on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace?
Well,
space.
I'm on everything. Just Google me, Stacy E. Marshall. But I appreciate the opportunity to come online and just have this conversation because you guys have so much fun on here. And I was like, okay, now I got the opportunity. But I can be reached at Southeast at southeastfw.com is my website. My office number is 817-871-6542. My mobile is 214-538-8731. Seems like everybody has that anyway. So, and my email address is stacy@southeastfw.com.
And he thinks somebody gonna get all that, but anyway,
Well, yeah.
we're gonna
So,
put it
on the web. Yeah, put it out there.
We're gonna put it out there.
Put it out there.
Remember, we're on every Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. If you have a business or just want to come by and advertise your book, this year we're being blessed with people that we never heard of is coming on the show. Attorneys are coming on the show now. We're getting so many people that's interested in being on the show. So we need you all to go in and subscribe to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma on the YouTube page, and tell people about us. We want us to be known as well, and we want you to be known. So now, even though you all think y'all know Stacy, now y'all know he's a real Mississippi man, y'all.
Yes, I am.
And we're so happy for you to be on the show. And Linda just love asking you questions. Try to get some pancakes.
Okay. I can get you some pancakes, soul food.
House of Pancakes. No.
No, we was
No.
at the other one.
We were at
House of Pancakes.
House of Pancakes.
Yeah.
Original House of Pancakes.
Yeah, original
Original.
house.
Okay.
What was your question?
My question is, since they building these apartments on Riverside, are they low? Are they reasonable rent rate, or is it an increase in the rent rate for the elderly?
No, it will be affordable.
It would be affordable.
It will be affordable. Yes.
So they will have a sliding scale for income.
She talking about AARP people
Oh,
like her.
well, see, that's something you would have to call them. I can connect you with the person who developed it
Okay.
and who manages that process.
Okay.
But to my understanding, it will be affordable.
Okay.
Because one of the things that you have to do with any development, like
Mhm.
apartments, you got to set aside so many apartments in that building
Mhm.
for people with
That's
market
good.
rate. So
That's
yeah, you can afford it if that's something that you're like looking into and
Yeah.
wanting to be a part of. But I can connect you with the right people.
Okay.
If you need to be connected, call Stacy.
Call Stacy.
Stacy will connect you with everybody. But remember, early voting is starting August the 19th. I mean, not August, girl. My mind's on vacation. That's AARP.
Today.
It start April
19th.
the 19th.
Today.
August is my vacation time. April the 19th all the way up to May 1st. Look over the candidates, read the candidate information, and then go out and vote. Please go out
That's
and
crucial.
vote. Don't just stay home and then criticize and talk about it. Go out there and vote.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Stacy, my good
Thank
friend.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. And
Appreciate it.
we're going to have Stacy back. And
Yes.
remember, our t-shirt fashion show is coming up in May. I'll have a date for you because we want to bring and let everybody know about the new Kirk Inspiration t-shirt, and they are inspiring. So if nothing else, may God bless you until we see you face
to face.
every Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. with the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma, Kimberly, and Linda, AARP Group.